Well, that tape ended, so I'm not sure what's going to happen if I can try to put them together. It's going to have to be 2 parts. Basically, here's all those beautiful tomatoes all chopped up. Look at all the juice in there, if you can see it. And it's going to be hard for me to do this part, but I'm going to take you over and show you. I did this earlier, the same thing I just showed you, and this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a marinara sauce. See all the chunks? They just broke down by themselves. I really just stirred them, you know, a little bit. They've been cooking a good almost 2 hours on low. Well, actually low for about an hour, and then on simmer. You got to make sure you don't burn it. You can see the big chunks. I like the big chunks. And then I put the seasonings in. I put about 3 tablespoons of parsley, a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon and a half of pepper, a tablespoon of hot pepper flakes, these are teaspoons, I'm sorry, 3 teaspoons of parsley, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1½ teaspoons of coarse black pepper, 1 teaspoon of hot pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt, about ½ teaspoon of onion powder, and ½ teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'll probably put a little bit more of all those in there as it goes. I, you know, stir it up, and as it goes I taste it and see what needs to be adjusted. And then I also have grated Parmesan cheese, garlic and oil, a couple of bell peppers, and I'm going to show you what I do with the bell peppers. So basically you take this down and put it in the pan. You're not going to be able to see this part because I don't have a cameraman. But I'm putting all them tomatoes in that big pot of tomatoes I just showed you that cooked for about 2 hours. Spilled a couple on the floor. Okay. So I always put bell pepper in my sauce, whole. I just take out the insides and get some of that yucky stuff out. These are small, so there ain't much to them. And I just take all these pieces and put them right into my sauce. They give it great flavor. My mother did it for years. And if you just hang on a sec, I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about what we're going to do. Okay, so what we got here is all those tomatoes in the pot with the other half that were already cooked down. I just did that for purposes for you to see how I'm making this. So now we got to add all those seasonings again. So let me set this up. Since we put all them seasonings in for the first time, let me set this up so you can see me doing the seasonings. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that for you or not. Well, I don't think I'm going to, but I'll try to do the best I can. No, that's not going to work. Okay, well, let's just say that we're going to put in, of course, the 3 teaspoons of parsley. I love parsley. A teaspoon of oregano, 1½ teaspoons of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of hot crushed pepper, and I'll probably put more of that because I love it. 2 teaspoons of salt, kosher salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I just taste it along the way and see how it starts tasting. And then I add, of course, Parmesan cheese. I know a lot of people say that kind in the can is awful, but I like it. If you have the fresh, go for it. But when I sit at the table, I like to have the fresh. But when I'm cooking it, I like to use the I don't know, the canned stuff. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, well, a cup of tomato paste, a can of tomato paste, and a can of tomato puree. So basically, when you're making sauce, you usually add these same items, and then you put crushed tomatoes or chopped tomatoes in the can, and you get them and you put them in your pan, and then you start your sauce. That's what normal people, you know, or I don't want to say normal, but that's how people start their sauces. So, but what I'm doing is basically the same thing, only I'm using the fresh tomatoes, and I'm going to use the paste and the puree just to help thicken it up a little bit, give it a little more flavor. The paste gives it a deep tomato taste, and I'm going to use this to make chicken parm and zucchini parmesan tomorrow for Jordan. He just got back from college today, and chicken parm's his favorite meal, so that's what I'll be making for him. And he's all excited to have his chicken parm. He's not that thrilled about the food at Cuca, but he said it's okay. So tomorrow I'll probably be showing you a video on how to make chicken parm and zucchini parm. But just leave your sauce on low for about a good 2 hours. Give it a taste. Give it a little more spices. You know what spices you like. Give it a little more of this, a little bit more of that. And if I had wine, I would empty this out, and I forgot to tell you that, and fill this with wine and stir it all around, get all the goodies out, put that in the sauce. But I don't have no wine, so I'll just use regular tap water, rinse both these out until I get the can all cleaned, put it in the sauce, and of course I use the cans over again for another purpose, and I also would put them in the recycling. Okay, well, I know this video wasn't my better works, but I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your tomato juice. Some of it has a little bit of water in it, but it's good. It's so good for you. And like I said, I put a little salt and pepper in it. It is so good. If you like tomato juice, and some people don't like tomato juice because it's too thick, but this is like a thinner, and it's like a nice juice. I actually love it. I'll probably get about 4 or 6 of these out of it, and I'll have them in there for a few weeks. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I hope I didn't forget anything. And if you have any questions, I guess you're going to have to ask on the thing underneath there with your comments. I hope I did okay. Everybody's been wanting my sauce recipe. Now, this sauce you can also use as a marinara at first, and just go ahead and, you know, put some of this up right now and use it as a marinara. It's delicious. Or what I'm going to do is add the sauces, and it's going to be more like a pasta sauce. Some people call it gravy. I call it sauce. We call it sauce. But I also made this huge pot because I'm going to freeze it. And then I showed you those little containers that I use, like that, only I use one that's about double that size, and I just pull one of those out for dinner, and it works great. And we have sauce for about, I guess, 6 months or longer. I'm not even sure, but I still have a batch in there I made. I got one left, so it was time to make them, and it couldn't have came at a better time because I got all these great tomatoes. I'd say this is about 40 tomatoes, or maybe a little bit more even, I don't know. So make sure you put a lot of seasoning. Don't be afraid of salt. Don't be afraid of pepper. I love pepper, so I put a lot of pepper. And I love parsley, so I put tons of parsley. If you've seen me spicing it, I do it maybe 5 times when I first start, then again, and then again. Keep adding it, because I don't never measure anything. I just throw everything in there, so I don't really know what the measurement is. And sometimes my sauce is bigger or smaller, so I don't know. I don't say I need 1 can of this or 3 cans of that, but I'm going to use those cans that I was telling you about if that works out good for me and I feel it's the consistency I like. But if not, what I'll do is I'll add some more stuff, more sauce or different type things into it. Oh, and definitely add a little bit of your grease from your hamburger, from your meatballs, the sausage, or whatever meat you prep to go with your pasta dinner. The drippings are excellent in here. It gives it so much flavor. You wouldn't believe the difference. And I don't know, I love it. Alright, I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm going to go, and I hope you enjoy the homemade tomato sauce. Thanks for watching.